The Earthquake on Mount Hood is a British story. Once upon a time, near a small village in England, a majestic mountain called Mount Hood rose. The mountain was sacred to the villagers, and its summit was imbued with ancient legends and myths. At the foot of the mountain, there was a rich forest, and the beautiful scenery of the four seasons spread. The villagers loved Mount Hood and cherished the natural blessings it brought. But, as everyone knows, there were secrets in the mountains. For generations, the villagers respected the mountain gods and kept them too close to the mountains. So no one knew what was happening deep in the mountains. One day, a disturbing atmosphere began to flow in the village. The night sky was thinly cloudy, and the wind was blowing coldly. A few days later, a strange phenomenon continued around the village. In the middle of the night, the sound of the earth shaking was heard, and the villagers were terrified. No one could understand the cause, and anxiety spread. And one night, a huge sound echoed from Mount Hood. It was a loud sound that could be said to be an earthquake, and violent shaking could be felt from the top of the mountain and from the ground. With a roar, as if the whole mountain was angry, the earth shook violently, and the houses in the village shook. The earthquake struck the village, causing the walls of houses to collapse and fields and forests to the ground. The villagers desperately searched for a place to escape, but the earthquake on Mount Hood was so severe that there was little room to escape. The ground cracked, and a large chasm spread out at the foot of the mountain. Smoke rose from the crack, and I could see a rock that glowed red. It was as if the mountain itself had woken up. Just as the mountain gods expressed their anger, the animals living at the foot of the mountain also behaved strangely that they were not usually seen. The birds flew in the sky, the beasts ran around excitedly, swaying anxiously in the forest. The villagers understood that Mount Hood was about to unleash its power right now. The shaking lasted for a long time, and by dawn there was finally calm. However, the village had completely changed. Houses had collapsed, and farmland had been swallowed up by the cracks. The villagers could only stand and stunned in front of the broken houses. The earth quietly but destructively decided the fate of the village. A few days later, the village elders gathered to interpret the earthquake on Mount Hood. They considered this earthquake a warning from the mountain gods and told the villagers to respect the mountain again and not forget to be grateful to the gods. The earthquake showed the importance of living humbly and not being overconfident in the power of nature. After that, the villagers decided to honor Mount Hood again and perform a ceremony of gratitude to the mountain gods. After the earthquake, the mountains became calmer, and the village gradually began to rebuild. However, he never forgot to feel the power of the mountains, and the village lived in harmony with nature more than ever. The Mount Hood earthquake became an unforgettable event for the villagers and was passed down from generation to generation. It was a harsh but beautiful lesson that taught us the importance of living while respecting the power of nature and being grateful for its blessings. That's it.